Hey guys, welcome to Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we're going to be talking a little more about Dirt 4, and I'm thinking this might actually be one of my last videos covering this title. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did put out my review of Dirt 4, and I was on the more positive side. However, I did have some negative quips about it, namely the lack of locations and diversity in the title, despite having this dynamic course creator. Since then, I have been testing a little more and just driving for the fun of it, and after a while, I felt that elements of the game started blurring together. I didn't really feel as thrilled to play it as I was before. I felt the novelty of the track creator starting to wear thin. And then, the one thing that Codemasters did not want to happen, happened. I got bored of Dirt 4. A lot of the marketing was saying that the Your stage creator would prevent boredom. It would create a new dynamic track environment whenever you played. While on paper the Your stage creator did seem like a dynamic and revolutionary idea, in practice it felt a little stunted. The courses just seemed a bit like a muddled mess, and it just did not feel nearly as dynamic as Codemasters said it was going to be. While the course creator was said to be having an astounding number of courses and stated that you would never drive the same course twice, in reality, that could be true, but you are going to drive the same corner twice, or even 3 times, or 4 times, even in the same stage. I kept on finding myself having deja vu moments while driving in the same course, and I kept on thinking, I drove this corner just 2 minutes ago. So while it's true that all these courses are being procedurally generated and you're having this dynamic course creator, it is using pieces repeatedly, and I feel that's sort of cheaping out. Also, the course creator I felt really could have been a lot more fleshed out. With only 2 sliders for length and complexity, you didn't really have much variety in the courses. I really felt the course creator could have benefited by having more sliders, such as the elevation changes and course width. That could have at least breathed new life into this course creator and kept things from feeling stale way too quickly. Another thing I wanted to mention was in regards to the physics. Now, in my review, I said that I felt the physics had a significant step forward from Dirt Rally. I think I might have made a bit of a mistake there. What I should have said was the force feedback was significantly improved from Dirt Rally. However, I believe the improvements in the force feedback covered up the issue of a regressed physics model. After I did my extended testing in Dirt 4, I went back to Dirt Rally, and also, as you see in this video, I checked out Richard Burns Rally, which is said to be the gold standard for rally racing titles. Upon testing those, especially RBR, I felt I couldn't go back to Dirt 4. The physics in Richard Burns Rally feel miles and miles beyond that of Dirt 4. I would say the biggest thing is the car's weight transfer. Weight transfer is a huge element in racing simulators, and having that momentum shifting, especially going through multiple series of turns, you're gonna have that feeling of weight transfer be essential for your driving skills. In Dirt 4, while the cars do feel like they have mass that was not present in Dirt Rally, the momentum shifting does not really exist. You feel like the car has mass, but it feels more like a brick with wheels rather than a dynamic rally car that's prone to understeer and oversteer. In Dirt 4, it is really just going to be pushing understeer, especially on the throttle. On the brake, you can really start feeling the car stepping out, but on the throttle, you're not really going to have the car have a dynamic feel. In Richard Burns Rally, though, getting on the gas, you're really going to have to play with that gas and fight the car going on the throttle. The cars in Richard Burns Rally feel like they have more of an unpredictable nature to them, and that makes it a lot more fun than the stable, safe car in Dirt 4. And I want to highlight the word safe. What I am wondering with Dirt 4 is, Did Codemasters play it safe? Keep in mind, there were 2 years between Dirt Rally and Dirt 4. Dirt 4 does not feel like it has 2 years worth of extra content over Dirt Rally. It feels like the course creator was made as some sort of stopgap for limited content. Also with the physics, did Codemasters decide to play it safe? Did they take a conscious decision to take a step back from what made Dirt Rally great? They could have made the refinements that they did in Dirt 4, but still kept that unpredictable nature of the cars. And I believe if that was the case, then this could have been a true contender for the next Richard Burns rally. But Codemasters decided to play it safe, and now I feel it is a lackluster title. In light of these discoveries, I have to ask myself this question. Did I review Dirt 4 too hastily? Did I not give it the time that it needed to take a more thorough analysis? And I think that is the case, and I wanted to apologize to you guys. I am going to give Dirt 4 a revised score. In my initial review, I gave it an 84 out of 100, but after this extended testing, after this variety did run its course and I felt that it was getting stale, I think I'm going to give it a revised score of 78 out of 100. I feel like that this title really did surprisingly go stale quickly. I've put about 20 hours into Dirt 4 both on the console and on the PC, and I feel like that I should have had a lot more time where the game felt fresh. It's disappointing, but I feel like that is the downside of this dynamic track creator, also the dumbed down physics. However, I'm not going to say that we should give up hope just yet. There's always a light on the horizon, and who knows, Codemasters might listen to our complaints. They might refine the physics, they might bring us more locations and also a more complicated track creator. Anything's possible in the age of DLC, but for now, I am going to place Dirt 4 on the back burner. Maybe in a couple months or so, I will be able to fire up Dirt 4 again and get that fresh feeling again. But for now, I feel like there are other rally titles that just do things better. So these are just some of my follow-up thoughts on Dirt 4. I would love to hear some of yours. Are you already feeling that Dirt 4 is getting a bit stale? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe buttons down below and help keep us on track. Also, check out the Sim Racing Paddock forums, where we are planning our first ever community event, as well as an exciting event in the form of our Sim Racing Paddock Sim Racing Personality Shootout. So sign up for the forums and check that out. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a great rest of your day.